bloody elf. Who is that?
It doesn't matter. We were told to kill whoever enters the house.
I don't know who you are, friend, but you made a serious mistake coming here. Lieutenant, I want everyone in the clearing, now!
Captain!
Your men are dead, and your trap has failed. I suggest running back to your master while you can.
You're going nowhere, slave!
I am not a slave. I apologize. When I asked Anso to provide a distraction for the hunters, I had no idea they'd be so numerous.
Don't worry, we do this sort of thing often.
Impressive. My name is Fenris. These men were Imperial bounty hunters, seeking to recover a Magister's lost property, namely myself. They were trying to lure me into the open. Crude as their methods were, I could not face them alone. Thankfully, Anso chose wisely.
That seems like a lot of effort to find one slave.
It is.
Does this have something to do with those markings?
Yes. I imagine I must look strange to you. I did not receive these markings by choice. Even so, they have served me well. Without them, I would still be a slave.
Anso's job did seem a little too easy.
Perhaps the deception was unnecessary. If so, I'm sorry. I've become too accustomed to hiding. If I may ask, what was in the chest? The one they kept in the house?
It was empty.
I suppose it was too much to hope for. Even so, I had to know.
All that for an empty chest.
No, there's more. It's as I thought. My former master accompanied them to the city. I know you have questions, but I must confront him before he flees. I will need your help.
Looks like it's going to be a long night.
I will find a way to repay you. I swear it. The Magister is staying at a mansion in Hightown. Meet me there as soon as you can. We must enter before morning. No one has left the mansion, but I've heard nothing within. Denarius may know we're here. I wouldn't put it past him.
I could stand to know a little more about this Denarius.
He is a Magister of the Tevinter Imperium.
Oh, is that all? Nothing to worry about, then.
There, he is a wealthy mage with great influence. Here, he is but a man who sweats like any other when death comes for him.
What's the worst that could happen?
I do not fear death. That does not mean we should be reckless. Gone. I had hoped... No, it doesn't matter any longer. I assume Denarius left valuables behind. Take them if you wish. I need some air. It never ends. I escaped a land of dark magic, only to have it hunt me at every turn. It is a plague burned into my flesh and my soul. And now I find myself in the company of yet another mage. I saw you casting spells inside. I should have realized sooner what you really were. Tell me then, what manner of mage are you? What is it that you seek?
I'm just trying to get by.
Yet I have seen many crimes done in the name of survival.
If you have a problem with my brother, you have a problem with me.
I imagine I appear ungrateful. If so, I apologize, for nothing could be further from the truth. I did not find Denarius, but I still owe you a debt. Here is all the coin I have, as Anso promised. Should you find yourself in need of assistance, I would gladly render it.
Your old master must want something more than just a runaway slave.
He doesn't want me at all, just the markings on my skin. They are lyrium, burned into my flesh to provide the power that Daenerys required of his pet. And now, he wishes his precious investment returned, even if he must rip it from my corpse.
Seems like a waste of a perfectly handsome elf.
The truth is, I know nothing of the ritual that placed these markings on me. It was Daenerys' choice, one he now regrets.
I'm planning an expedition I might need help with.
Fair enough. Should you ever have need of me, I will be here. If Daenerys wishes his mansion back, he is free to return and claim it. Beyond that, I am at your disposal.
I can open the way forward. One moment.
Blood magic? Foolish. Very foolish.
Yes, it was blood magic, but I know what I'm doing. The spirit helped us, didn't it?
Call it what it is. You summoned a demon.
Demons are just spirits, like honor or joy. It's not their fault they are what they are.
Ignore the tiger. Not its fault that it's going to eat you. Sound advice.
Be careful up ahead. Restless things prowl the heights.
Sir Thrask has been looking for him. If you speak to him in the gallows, he'll be able to tell you what ground he's already covered. And Fenriel's father, Vincento, recently returned from Antiva. He's a merchant in the Lowtown Bazaar. Fenriel might have sought him out.
I will not leave you fearful for a moment longer than necessary.
We'll find him before the Templars. Don't trust them to have your son's best interest at heart.
Don't coddle this boy. If he is a mage, he's dangerous and belongs in the Circle.
Thank you. It has been a lonely time hiding. It's almost a relief to finally confront this openly.
Greetings, Sarah. You look like a man who'd be interested in the finest Antivan steel to grace his hand. I bring only the best northern merchandise to the free marches.
Actually, I'm more interested in your son.
Son? I have never had that privilege, Sarah. My poor wife, she's back in Antiva and cannot see me often with my travels. Let us not ruin the day with such weighty thoughts. Perhaps I could show you my silks.
We're not Templars, Sirrah. Fenriel has nothing to fear from us.
Maldición, you are a mage. I suppose you'd be kind then to a boy who resists being taken in by Templars?
You have no idea.
Yes, evidently so.
The boy's in over his head. So I sent him to the only man I know who doesn't despise mages. A former Templar named Samson.
Does this Samson have a residence in Kirkwall?
No. He's a wanted man. He stays out of sight during the day. At night, he stays near Darktown. That's the best place to find him.
Why, look here, boys. Volunteers. Clap 'em in irons and let's see what the Tevinters will pay for 'em.
Make him talk.
I can do that.
Andraste's great flaming ass! How did you do that? Never mind, I've stashed the boy in a cave, a smuggler hideout on the Wounded Coast. Tevinters will be by to finish the deal today. Now, can I go?
Sure. Oh, wait. I meant no.
Agrigio Pavali. There are 6 bottles in the cellar. Daenerys used to have me pour it for his guests. My appearance intimidated them, he said, which he enjoyed.
I can't imagine why they would be put off.
You say what's on your mind. I'll give you that. It's good I can still take pleasure in the small things.
You could have offered me a glass first, you know.
There's more, if you're really interested.
Perish the thought. How else would you redecorate the walls?
I've wanted to leave my past behind me, but it won't stay there. Tell me, have you never wanted to return to Ferelden?
I have no home left to return to.
The Blight is over. You could rebuild what you lost. Do you truly not want to?
I have to admit, it's an attractive idea.
But not now. I understand. Still, to have the option must be gratifying.
You've been on the run a long time, then.
3 years now. Denarius has a way of finding me. Perhaps it is the markings. Whatever the means, it never takes him long to follow. This is the first time I've given him reason to pause. I suppose there are advantages in numbers.
Haven't you sought help before?
Hirelings, when I could steal the coin. Never anyone of substance. Until you. Denarius will not give up, however. I await his return.
What if he does give up? What then?
Then I go to him. I will not live with a wolf at my back.
Sounds like the right idea to me.
If it comes to that, I doubt it will.
Maybe it's just me, but it sounds like you want to stick around.
I could see myself staying, for the right reasons. I should thank you again for helping me against the hunters.
Yes, you should.
Had I known Ansar would find me a man so capable, I might have asked him to look sooner.
You sound like you're about to ask for a loan.
Well, this mansion does require some upkeep. Perhaps I'll practice my flattery for your next visit. With any luck, I'll become better at it.
The Circle was supposed to help me, but they lied. They said there were no demons, that I was mad. This isn't my fault.
I'm not getting paid enough for this.
I can't stop. I've tried so many times. Please, you have to kill me. There's no other way.
He sees the truth of it. Allow me to grant his wish, if you will not.
Any last words before he kills you, Kelder?
Tell my father. I'm sorry.
So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Denarius. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
Don't tell me you're going to miss all the attention.
Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You take a breath and look around. And start anew.
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings. The lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
I might be able to help with your problems. Or give you a few more.
Only a few.
It depends if I really work at it.
Tempting. You're a handsome man, Hawk. Is there no one else who has your attention?
I didn't quite catch that first part.
I don't need to repeat the obvious, I'm certain. I'm an escaped slave and an elf, living in a borrowed mansion. None of those things bother you.
And I'm an apostate refugee. Does that bother you?
You have me there. You raise an interesting point. I'll have to consider it.
With my power,
power joined to his, Fenris would have changed the world.
Have you ever seen an abomination? They are ugly.
You put such stock in appearances. Perhaps that is why your friend's loyalty only goes skin deep. You think this slave would choose you over his freedom?
Cast your eyes elsewhere, demon. I won my freedom from the Magisters long ago.
But you fear them still. They have left their marks on your body and your mind. With my aid, you could be free forever. You could have power enough to challenge any who would chain you.
How transparent can you get?
But to face them as an equal, what would you want from me?
A moment of your time, nothing more.
I have been thinking about what happened in the Fade. That a demon could have played so easily on my fears disturbs me. I failed you. I won't let that happen again.
Everyone gets one free demonic possession before I hold it against them.
Good to know. As for the boy, we shall see what he becomes, and if he regrets the mercy you provided. But that is not important now. Let's just hope we face nothing similar in the future. Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Femundis. Care to hear the story?
I enjoy listening to you talk.
And I enjoy a man willing to speak his mind. Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Denarius during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
I thought Denarius considered you valuable.
He wasn't given a choice. The look on his face as the ship pulled out was priceless. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Denarius finally came for me.
Were you with these Fog Warriors willingly?
I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Denarius came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them. So I did. I killed them all.
Why would you do such a thing?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
How well did you know these Fog Warriors?
I knew them only a few months, but in that time, I felt as if I truly lived. They were bold, strong, free with their affections. I was in awe of them, and owed them everything. And I turned on them even so.
I have to wonder why you stayed with Denarius as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom, or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires, and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
Couldn't you have found other Fog Warriors? Become a rebel?
Even if I did, I felt unworthy. I had no way of knowing if I could truly escape from Denarius then. I didn't even know what that meant. I simply had to get away. I stowed aboard a ship to the mainland and moved south, chased by my former master every step of the way.
This can't be easy to talk about.
I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
It might mean more than that.
I have never allowed anyone too close. When my markings were created, the pain was extraordinary, and the memory lingers. But you are a man unlike any other, Hawk. With you, it might be different.
We could find out.
On another evening, perhaps. A last toast, then. To the fallen.
I have something for you.
It's a book.
I see your eyesight is still working fine. The book is by Shartan, the elf who helped Andraste free the slaves. You know about him, right?
A little. It's just... slaves are not permitted to read. I've never learned.
It's not too late to learn, Fenris.
Isn't it? Sometimes I wonder. I don't mean to seem ungrateful. I do appreciate the thought. I've always wanted to learn more of Shartan. Perhaps this is my chance. Hunters.
Stop right there! You are in possession of stolen property. Back away from the slave now and you'll be spared.
Fenris is a free man!
I won't repeat myself. Back away from the slave now! I am not your slave!
We must be careful. There were many such holdings once, especially in the mountains, where individual slavers kept private pens. They were designed to protect against raids by fellow slavers. No doubt it's why Hadriana chose this place.
Hadriana won't escape us.
Let's hope this isn't a waste of time. Are you hurt? Did they touch you?
They've been killing everyone. They cut Papa, bled him.
Why? Why would they do this?
It's a demon at work. By this point, there's nothing human left inside.
The Magister. She said she needed power, that someone was coming to kill her. We tried to be good. We did everything we were told. She loved Papa's soup. I don't understand.
This has been terrible for you.
Everything was fine until today.
It wasn't. You just didn't know any better.
Are you my master now?
No.
But I can cook. I can clean. What else will I do?
If you go to Kirkwall, I can help you.
Yes? Oh, praise the Maker. Thank you.
I didn't realize you were in the market for a slave.
I gave her a job, Fenris.
Ah, then that's good. My apologies. Let's find Hadriana and be done with this place.
Stop! You do not want me dead!
There is only one person I want dead more.
I have information, Elf, and I will trade it in return for my life.
Ha! The location of Denarius. What good will that do me? I'd rather he lose his pet pupil.
You have a sister. She is alive. You wish to reclaim your life? Let me go, and I will tell you where she is.
This is your call.
So I have your word. I tell you, and you let me go.
Yes. You have my word.
Her name is Verania. She is in Carinus, serving a magister by the name of Ahriman.
A servant, not a slave.
She's not a slave.
I believe you. We are done here.
Do you want to talk about it?
No, I don't want to talk about it. This could be a trap. Denarius could have sent Hadriana here to tell me about this sister. Even if he didn't, trying to find her would still be suicide. Denarius has to know about her and has to know that Hadriana knows. But all that matters is I finally got to crush this bitch's heart. May she rot. and all the other mages with her.
And here I thought you were unreasonable.
Maybe we should leave.
No, I don't want you comforting me. You saw what was done here. There's always going to be some reason, some excuse why mages need to do this. Even if I found my sister, who knows what the Magisters have done to her? What has magic touched that it doesn't spoil? I need to go. I've been thinking about what happened with Hadriana. I took out my anger on you, undeservedly so. I was not myself. I'm sorry.
I had no idea where you went. I was concerned.
I needed to be alone. When I was still a slave, Hadriana was a torment. She would ridicule me, deny my meals, hound my sleep. Because of her status, I was powerless to respond, and she knew it. The thought of her slipping out of my grasp now. I couldn't let her go. I wanted to, but I couldn't.
What do you mean?
This hate. I thought I'd gotten away from it. But it dogs me no matter where I go. To feel it again. To know it was they who planted it inside me. It was too much to bear. But I didn't come here to burden you further.
You don't need to leave, Fenris. Was it that bad?
I'm sorry, it's not... It was fine. No, that is insufficient. It was better than anything I could have dreamed.
It can be a lot to take in, I know.
It's not that. I began to remember my life before. Just flashes. It's too much. This is too fast. I cannot do this.
We can work through this.
I'm sorry. I feel like such a fool. All I wanted was to be happy. Just for a little while. Forgive me.
I've been wondering if I shouldn't remarry. I've seen how you and that elf look at each other. I'm sure the last thing you need is your mother watching over your shoulder every time you come home. But perhaps there is still life once your children have outgrown you.
Isabella, my dusky goddess. You have buried yourself in the flesh of my heart like a worm in a red, red apple. You heartworm, you.
Oh, look, my friend is here. Excuse me.
But I haven't gotten to the part where I invite you to feast upon my tender white flesh.
That's all right. I think I'll manage. Speaking of romance, you and Fenris, eh? That taut, controlled body, the brooding demeanor and intense gaze. I hear he still wears the shackles from his life in bondage under his clothes. You know what they say about men like that, don't you?
I'm gonna regret asking you to continue, aren't I?
He can't find a saw. I had you there. You thought I was going to say something dirty.
And then Hawk tore the door clean off its hinges, walked into the room, and... I guess we'll finish this later.
Have you got a minute, Varric?
Of course, Hawk. Actually, I've been meaning to talk to you. People say you and that elf, you know, the angsty Tevinter one, are becoming quite the item. So, what's going on, Hawk?
Well, 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 I never thought you were the type, Varric. I'm flattered.
Hawk, I know I'm damned near irresistible, but you're just too high maintenance for me. Sorry. Listen, as your friend, I feel like I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't say something.
You do know the elf is covered in spikes, like an angsty porcupine. He might have some issues.
In all the time you've known me, have I ever given you the impression that I was turned off by crazy?
Okay, point taken.
Justice has been warped by my rage. I cannot contain him any longer.
Maybe it's time to realize your limitations.
Yes, fine. Kick me while I'm down. Clearly, you're right about everything.
It was a suggestion, not a condemnation.
I will not put myself in that position again.
The only place I'm not a mess is on patrol. And killing highwaymen doesn't afford much opportunity for banter.
Again, she deflects.
I will not risk.
You're squandering something you don't understand.
You can't ignore advice from such a stable source.
But I can't fight and talk.
I'll clear the way, and you can see if he's the one.
You're too good at this. Is it any wonder you've all but taken Hightown?
I don't know what to say, but I am here.
Just say something. Anything.
They say death is only a journey. Does that help?
It just raises questions. Journey to where?
I don't know. It's just something people say. To be honest, I don't think there is much point in filling these moments with empty talk.
But we have guests. Sinead Dawn, Hawk. I expected you. But for all your might, you are no different from these bars. You do not see.
I see a man who's ready to start a war on principle.
And what would the Kunari be without principle? You, I suspect. Prove yourself, Basra, or kneel with your brethren. Parshera! You are Basilit An, after all. Few in this city command such respect. So tell me, Hawk, you know I cannot withdraw. How would you resolve this conflict?
Isabella stole the Tome of Koslun. We find her, and you can leave Kirkwall.
And is this not one of your companions? One I suspect you aided?
It does sound bad when you say it like that.
You will answer for the crimes of those who serve you. Their offense is yours.
Arisha Kost, Cunanam Ebrator. You have granted this man Basilit An. By this admission, he now has the right to challenge you.
You know our ways.
I know that respect is hard won, but it also earns privilege.
What say you, Hawk? Do you agree to a duel?
All right. Let's put on a show.
Marathas! So shall it be!
Are you certain it's her?
An elf matching your description on the ship you named. And alone, as far as I could tell.
I need to know if it's a trap.
I did as you asked, Fenris. Now it's up to you. You talk to him, Hawk. I've had my fill for today.
Fenhidis, first of us.
Maybe it's just me, but I'd swear you're upset.
It's my sister. I didn't tell you, but I followed up on Hadriana's information. Everything she said was true. I had to keep it quiet, but I eventually contacted Verania and sent her coin enough to come meet me. And now she's here.
Yes, everything's gone exactly according to plan. What could be worse?
Yes, yes, laugh at me. Come with me, Hawk. I need you there when I meet her.
Where is she?
If we go to the Hanged Man during the day, she'll be there, for the next week at least. It would mean a lot to me. That's all I ask.
It really is you.
Verania? I remember you. We played in our master's courtyard while Mother worked. You called me.
Leto. That's your name.
What's wrong? Why are you so...
I'll give you 3 guesses.
Ah, my little Fenris. Predictable as always.
I'm sorry it came to this, Leto.
You led him here.
Now, Fenris. Don't blame your sister. She did what any good Imperial citizen should.
I never wanted these filthy markings, Daenerys. But I won't let you kill me to get them.
How little you know, my pet. And this is your new master, then? The champion of Kirkwall? Impressive.
Fenris doesn't belong to anyone.
Do I detect a note of jealousy? It's not surprising. The lad is rather skilled, isn't he?
Shut your mouth, Daenerys.
The word is master.
You are no longer my master.
I had no choice, Leto.
Stop calling me that.
He was going to make me his apprentice. I would have been a magister.
You sold out your own brother to become a magister.
Your sister's a mage. You bloody hypocrite. You really are just jealous.
You have no idea what we went through, what I've had to do since Mother died. This was my only chance.
And now you have no chance at all.
Please, don't do this. Please, tell him to stop.
Hey, I'm a neutral party here.
I would have given you everything. I thought discovering my past would bring a sense of belonging, but I was wrong. Magic has tainted that too. There is nothing for me to reclaim. I am alone.
I'm here, Fenris.
I feel unclean, like this magic is not only etched into my skin, but has also stained my soul. And now this. Let's go. I need to get out of here.
You don't need to stay in this pit anymore, you know. Not that you haven't, fixed it up nicely.
It's falling apart, and my ability to keep the Seneschal from noticing is nearing an end.
I appreciate what you've done, Eveline.
But you're staying. You could go anywhere now.
Perhaps I don't wish to go anywhere.
Freedom must be a terrible burden, I guess.
They don't understand. Yes, I am free. Daenerys is dead. Yet, it doesn't feel like it should.
Seems like you should be dancing for joy.
I would have thought so. I thought if I didn't need to run and fight to stay alive, I would finally be able to live as a free man does. But how is that? Whatever past I had died with my sister. I have nothing now. Not even an enemy.
You're not reminiscing about the good old days of being hunted, I hope.
I wouldn't go that far. It's just difficult to overlook the stain that magic has left on my life. If I seem bitter, it's not without cause. Perhaps it is time to move forward. I just don't know where that leads. Do you?
Wherever it leads, I hope it means we'll stay together.
That is my hope as well. We have never discussed what happened between us 3 years ago.
You didn't want to talk about it?
I felt like a fool. I thought it better if you hated me. I deserve no less. But it isn't better. That night, I remember your touch as if it were yesterday. I should have asked your forgiveness long ago. I hope you can forgive me now.
Oh, I don't know. This might be fun to hold over you a while longer.
If there is a future to be had, I will walk into it gladly at your side.
I know it isn't my place to criticize, but are you sure about Fenris? He seems less a man to me than a wild dog.
You just don't know him.
I know as much as I'm ever likely to.
That's right, mage.
He has let one bad experience color his whole world. Surely you want someone more open-minded.
A mage and a hypocrite. What company you keep.
Now you, I wasn't expecting. How do you do? My name is Zevran Aranai, adventurer and occasional assassin.
I've heard about you. You helped the hero of Ferelden stop the Blight.
At your service, my friend. I must admit, I was waiting for an assault by the Crows, not the mighty champion of Kirkwall.
I thought you'd be taller.
Ah, let me guess. A man named Nuncio has asked you to capture a dangerous killer, yes? What did he say this time? That I killed his wife, butchered his parents, sold his children into slavery? Or did he tell you he was a lawman from Antiva, charged with apprehending a ridiculously handsome fugitive?
He didn't mention how handsome.
Ah, so you've noticed. I credit my high cheekbones and pouty lips. Bring me to Nuncio if you wish, but I warn you, he surely intends to kill you. The Crows do not like loose ends, unlike myself. But you are a man who can clearly handle himself, yes? Why worry? So, you can either tie me up, gag me, and then manhandle me. Or you can take me to Nuncio. Which will it be, I wonder?
I like your list of options, but does it have to be in that order?
I knew you couldn't resist my obvious charms. It's the accent, isn't it?
I'm not going to hand you over to someone who lied to me.
As a suggestion, you might wish to deal with Nuncio. If you don't, he will only come after you. It's been more than a pleasure, my dear champion. Fare you well.
I let your assassin go. Was I not supposed to do that?
You had him? And you let him go? I am thoroughly disappointed. No one fails the Crows and lives.
Ah, poor stupid Nuncio. The Crows do like that saying, but I am living proof it's a lie. Why they insist on thinking they can kill people like you and the Warden, I will never guess.
Let me tell you, it's a burden I bear on a daily basis.
You are nothing but a traitor and a coward, Zevran. You'll die here.
Yes, well, let's see how that works out for you. Excellent. Killing my former brothers in arms is oddly satisfying. I've little reward to offer you, champion, but perhaps this will serve as a token of my thanks. It is time for me to move on, unless you'd care to get to know each other better, champion.
That depends. How much do you wish to test that luck of yours?
Oh, I see. Fair enough, then. It is time to move on, as they say. I have a little war to wage back home, and so little time. Perhaps we'll meet again, champion.
Take a look at this.
A Blade of Mercy. I remember these. You see them in the Imperium. Replicas of the sword Archon Hessarian used to kill Andraste. This one looks finely crafted.
So they sell these things at every market stand in Minrathous?
Hardly. Here, let me show you. These are gifts of honor, given to those who have performed a service for the Imperium. Denarius coveted them, as I recall.
The blade is yours, if you want it.
For me? Yes. I think I'd like that. I'll think of the irony as I wield it. Thank you, Hawk. Here I am, about to defend these mages in hopeless battle. You lead me to strange places, Hawk.
I'll take you to stranger places than this. Just watch.
A tempting offer. I may not get the chance to say this again. Meeting you was the most important thing that ever happened to me, Hawk. Promise me you won't die. I can't bear the thought of living without you.
I didn't quite catch that. Could you speak up?
Then let me make it clearer for you.
Into the hills, and circumstance eventually forced us all to leave the champion's side. Well, all of us except for Fenris. You still hear the stories, of course. With each telling they grow, even if, at the core, remains the truth. A new legend had been born.
So I shouldn't slit my wrists and dance naked under the moonlight just to fit in?
I would pay to see that.